Hey, how is it going today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Excited to interview you.
Yeah, I'm excited to be interviewed by you.
Yes, thank you so much. So let's get into the first question.
Okay.
You began at Main Street Provisions as a line cook and rose to executive chef. What mindset shift was most critical in that evolution? Was it operationally or emotionally?
I think it was a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
I came here and I actually demoted myself. So I was actually a sous chef down on the strip before this.
Yes.
So my mentor, who is the executive chef here, he's the one that asked me to do him a favor and come back and kind of bump myself back down the totem pole and the ladder, and with a strong promise and suggestion that I could rise in this restaurant.
Yes.
But yeah, so it was a little bit of that. Emotionally, it was hard because I did a year as a line cook, a year as a sous, and then now I'm past my year mark as an executive.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. But it was a very hard transition, especially because on the operational level, working amongst my line cooks, who are
Mhm.
still my line cooks, but
Yeah.
kind of working up those ranks, but still have that level of personal
Yeah.
dealings with them, but
Mhm.
also that level of respect of me then
Yeah.
being seen as their boss as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
That's amazing. It's just a balance,
Mhm.
because not a lot of people like a boss that is too, like, I don't know, demanding.
Mhm.
So it's also nice to have like a personal bond. So everything is just smooth when it's time to go in the kitchen and when they have to listen to what you say, and it just comes out more smoothly.
Yeah, I think a lot of my cooks too had that mindset where it was never a fight between,
Yeah.
like, when I worked up,
Mhm.
because they knew if it was time to throw it out in the kitchen, I'd be right alongside with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I'm not a leader that I lead by example.
Yeah.
I don't demand. So, when things get crazy, my white coat will get very dirty because I'm in there with them.
Yeah.
So, it was a very easy, smooth transition here, and I'm
Yeah.
grateful for that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next question will be, what specific skills did you develop on the line that later gave you an edge in leadership?
Time management
Mhm.
and stress control are
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah.
because there are
Yeah.
times, we'll be in a rush, and we call it being in the weeds and you have to learn how to not freak out.
Yeah.
But you also need to learn how to get yourself out of it, in a positive way, not
Yeah.
by crashing and burning. um, Also asking for help.
Yeah.
That was a big thing I had to learn, because I don't like asking for help. I'm very
Um,
prideful. Um, but then I had to take a step back and realize, hey, we're all human.
yeah.
We're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
If we make a mistake, own up to it, be honest about it, and just saying, hey, chef, or hey, the person left to me, write to me, hey, I need some help.
Yeah.
Help me out a little bit. Give me 2 minutes of your time. And those are really, really crucial when
Yeah.
becoming a manager of any sorts,
Yeah.
is learning your limits,
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, those skills really were showcased in the competition in Hell's Kitchen, because like, it was just, everything was amazing. Like, it was no confrontation when the items were
Hmm.
cooked, or
Hmm.
yeah, when the foods were cooked. Everything just came out smoothly, and if there were anything that wasn't good, it was nice. You send it back, or it just worked out smoothly. So your leadership skills are really amazing and really showed in that competition.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
So on Hell's Kitchen,
Hmm.
leadership is definitely tested
Oh, yeah.
publicly. How did your experience running a real restaurant kitchen prepare you for that pressure?
I think it did everything to help me prepare for that. So, I mean, even when I went to film the show, I was just a sous chef here.
Yeah.
But there were 2 days a week. My executive chef wasn't here. So I did run my pass and I
Hmm.
ran my line. So I learned how to lead a brigade. I learned how to speak to them directly and firmly, but not disrespectfully.
Hmm.
So that was a big thing. Also, working all over the strip helped me a lot. I'm sure any chef can tell you we've had some bosses that weren't that nice.
Hmm. Yeah.
So that kind of helped me prepare to deal with Gordon Ramsay,
Yeah.
because not everything he says is the
Yeah.
nicest.
Yeah.
He's not always said the nicest either. But all of those factors, I call it like the perfect storm, like
Yeah.
everything in my career ever since I started working kind of led me up for that,
Mhm.
and building up that pressure. And I think a lot of my competitors and Ramsey himself saw, just by me working in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
helped a lot,
Yeah.
just high volume, high stress.
Yeah.
You have to deal with a lot of different personalities, and that's
Yeah.
something that's tested on
Mhm.
the show, is
Definitely.
a lot of different personalities,
Yeah.
strangers.
Yeah.
um but yeah, it all added up to me,
Yeah.
being victorious at the end, and staying true to myself as well,
Mhm.
not being a jerk. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a big thing. I
Yeah.
just didn't want to be a jerk to
Yeah.
people, and you don't have to be.
Yeah, for sure. And that's there's another thing that's extremely hard, like when you're trying to perfect a dish, but maybe it didn't come out the way that it was supposed to come out, or the way
Yeah.
that you wanted it to come out. Just have those social skills to be able to communicate with the person who messed up on the dish. Not to say anything rude, but just say something that could actually help them.
Yeah.
Because fussing and saying all type of mean stuff doesn't really help them. It just keeps them down, and then they're gonna form this type of rebelliousness
Hmm.
for you, because you just went off on them, and it was a mistake that was made on accident.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're human, we're going to make mistakes, and that's okay to make mistakes. It's completely okay. Now, if you make the same mistake, 5, 6 times over,
Yeah.
then we might have a problem.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's called constructive criticism.
Yeah.
That's what you want to give people. You
Mhm.
don't want to make them feel bad or
Yeah.
make them feel sad, because then, yeah, you're not going to want to perform
Yeah.
better. I certainly have been in that boat before, where I've been yelled and screamed at, and it kind of crushed me a little bit. So the rest of the night, my head was down low, and I worked slower. I made more
Yeah.
mistakes that way. So if you can quickly resolve and positively correct someone, um, I've found in my leadership style that is the best way to get results out of people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's in any line of work, not just cooking or
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Transitioning from downtown, Las Vegas, to Foxwoods in Connecticut is a major geographic
Oh yeah.
and cultural shift. I read that you have met some of the Foxwoods staff.
Hmm.
Um, what has the start of that transition been like?
It's been very good. It is a culture shock for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I've been to Connecticut a few times since
Oh,
filming. Um, I have been able to meet a lot of the higher ups. I've
mhm.
even been able to meet my future crew, my cooks, my
Ah,
future sous chefs. So it's been a really great experience. I'm very excited.
mhm.
Um, but I have a timeline, so I should be starting up there sometime in June.
Mhm.
I don't have an
Yeah,
exact date yet.
yeah,
um it's a really big move, really
yeah,
big transition. Got to kind of uproot my entire life out there, and I've been in Las Vegas a very, very long time.
yeah.
I know our people, I love
Mhm.
our city, our
Yeah,
culture, everything we stand for.
yeah.
So it's hard to leave, but it's a very exciting transition as well, because
Definitely.
I'm very young myself, and I'm every opportunity that's been thrown in my way, including Hell's Kitchen, I've taken it.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter, win, lose, just take the opportunity, learn, grow. Because at the end of the day, that's all I want to do, is learn as much as I can learn.
yeah. Because at the end of the day, no matter how high you get, it's always still something to learn, or something that you could get better
Absolutely.
at. Yeah,
Oh, you can learn from every single person you meet every
yeah,
day. Yep.
yeah. Definitely. How does leading a branded high volume um concept like Hell's Kitchen at Foxwoods differ from leading a chef driven restaurant like Main Street Provisions?
Ooh. I think that there is a little bit more of a pressure added, because here I'm representing my name, and I'm representing Kim Owen's name,
Hmm.
the owner,
Yeah.
and our partnership at this restaurant currently. to then going to representing Chef Gordon Ramsay's name.
Yeah.
And I think everyone in the world has heard of this
Yeah.
man before
Yes,
and has
definitely.
either tried his food or dreamt of trying his food.
Mhm.
So it's a little bit more stressful. I do have a little bit of experience doing it because I did open up Martha Stewart's restaurant,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
Bedford,
Yeah.
inside
Yeah.
of the Paris
Yeah.
Hotel. So I understand that level of kind of taking yourself out of the equation and realizing you're representing something bigger. You're
Yeah.
representing a brand.
Yeah.
Everything that you do, even on your off time, is a representation of now this person.
Yeah.
Um, but also it's an honor to be chosen with, to be gifted with that trust level
Yeah.
to then represent this person's name. And that's a big thing for me, is I have this kind of overwhelming seal of approval to represent Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
And everything that will come out of that kitchen will be on his name, but it'll also be on my name too.
Yeah.
Just kind of like how it is here. I talk to my cooks, like, hey guys, every plate you put out is a representation of me.
Yeah.
So if you don't give it your all, people are gonna think that this is how I am, and it's that mutual respect between all of us.
Yeah.
So it is different, but I think it's a same in the same way, because what my guys are doing for me now is what I'll be doing with my cooks out there in Foxwoods to represent Gordon Ramsay too.
Yes.
Um, and so it's just like this beautiful circle.
Yeah.
I think we're always representing something higher than ourselves, and I
Yeah.
think that's a good goal.
Yeah.
It's a great goal to, the word I'm looking for, basically just keep making other people proud.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but by producing amazing product in the same
Right.
sense. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. That's really a really essential factor in running a kitchen,
Mhm.
and also, like I said earlier, just in any profession, because also me, I also run a business. I sell affirmation cards, so yeah, I mean, any mess up. I mean, when I get my cards printed, I like to make sure that everything is amazing,
Mhm.
everything is right, everything is how I designed it. So, if I have any card that has a messed up letter or a letter that was taken out, it's a representation of my product, and the person who buys that will never leave them.
Mhm.
So it's really critical that everything is just
Perfect.
perfect. Yeah, perfect.
A big thing I like to say, if it's not right, it's not right now.
Yeah.
I'd rather wait a little bit longer for it to be
Mhm.
100% perfect,
Yeah.
rather than sending out something, or in your case, giving a customer a
Yeah.
product that is
Mhm.
not 100% reflecting of what you want to put out.
Definitely.
Yep. So it's all
Absolutely.
the same at the end of the day. Yep.
Yeah. Because I mean, definitely in this business, I would rather, if I was a chef, have a fully cooked chicken with all the
Oh
seasoning that it
yeah.
needs to have on it, than half seasoned chicken and also half cooked.
Oh
So
yeah, you
yeah.
don't want
Yeah.
any chicken sushi. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is not a good thing.
Yeah. There's no sushi grade chicken.
No, there
Yeah.
is not. Not yet.
Yeah. As someone who rose through the ranks, rather than stepping in at the top, how do you approach mentoring younger cooks?
I like to lead my people underneath me the way I wish I would have been led.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is, I had a lot of no's, a lot of doors shut in my face.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you'll ever be good enough, so I'm not going to waste my time on you. So I like to go the complete opposite route.
Yeah.
I've employed, I would say, more than half of my kitchen staff.
Wow.
This is their first kitchen job they've ever had.
Wow.
By people telling them no, they couldn't do it, or you can start out at the very bottom, and
Yeah.
maybe you'll work up in a few years.
Yeah.
I like to bring them on, and just like my mentor did to me,
Mhm.
give them every ounce of knowledge I have.
Mhm.
And not to say that I have all the knowledge in the world, but whatever I do know, I like to share that with
Yeah.
people. And it's a partnership rather than, I think, a boss employee
Yeah.
relationship I have
Yeah.
with all of my
Yeah.
people, where I've learned from them.
Mhm.
They've even showed me a different way to do something, or a different
Yeah.
way to look at something. Um, but I know that I annoyed my mentor with a million questions. I did. And now I'm the one answering those million questions.
Yeah.
So I love that I'm able to teach someone, and I love that I can keep some of these people's passions and love for cooking going, or maybe they even discover their love and passion for cooking.
Yeah.
Because I've had employees, one of my kitchen leads, she walked into this job just for a paycheck, didn't really know what else to do, kind of, she didn't really care. Now this is a few years later, this is what she wants to do with her life. She wants to become a chef, and I get to show her, hey, this is what I did. Maybe don't go this route because it was a little difficult, but
Yeah.
let's go this route, and maybe you can achieve it better this way, or you can learn more, or you can step into a role better equipped. Unlike me, where I stepped into a sous chef role at 21, you're going to learn at 21. You're not really equipped to lead a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So it was really difficult. So I just try to give them what they need, and also I learn the managerial style by the people I try to bring up. Some people need different methods of coaching. Some people need it a little more harshly and direct. Other people need a little bit more time and like a little more TLC,
Yeah.
time, consideration, love,
Yeah.
So the way you talk to each person is different.
Yeah.
And I've learned that through heartache and stress and everything
Yeah.
like that. But whatever I can do to help someone come up, I
Yeah.
will do it 110%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where like adaptability and chef development or cook
Mhm.
development comes in. Because like I said earlier, it's extremely essential to have that relationship because like you stated, you also learn stuff from them.
Mhm.
So I mean, we don't really see that with boss employee relationships. It has to feel more authentic,
Yeah.
and more of like a friend, but this friend is a little higher than me, so I have to also take orders. But like I said, it's a great balance
Oh.
between taking orders and um, also giving out lessons. So,
Mhm.
also, when you said that it was nothing wrong with the chicken, when Gordon Ramsay said take it back, like that,
Mhm.
he trusted how you felt, and the chicken was served to the
Mhm.
customer. So yeah, I feel like that's a relationship that everybody should have with their employees if they want to have a successful business or kitchen.
Oh, you said it perfect.
And more of like a friend, but this friend is a little higher than me, so I have to also take orders. But like I said, it's a great balance
Oh.
between taking orders and also giving out lessons. So,
Mhm.
also, when you said that it was nothing wrong with the chicken, when Gordon Ramsay said take it back, like that,
Mhm.
he trusted how you felt, and the chicken was served to the
Mhm.
customer. So yeah, I feel like that's a relationship that everybody should have with their employees if they want to have a successful business or kitchen.
Oh, you said it perfectly.
Yeah.
I'm very much friends with my guys
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
We know each other's lives, we know each other's spouses and children, and
Yeah.
they know about my pets.
Yeah.
um, but you're right. It is very friendly, and we have an amazing relationship. But then like I said, when it's crunch time, it's crunch time.
Yeah.
If I tell
Yeah.
them something's not correct, yes, chef, it's not correct. Let
Yeah.
me fix that.
Yeah.
So it's a balance. It's a delicate balance, but eventually you'll find it. It takes some tweaking here and there, but I think over the past 3.5 years, we've definitely
Yeah.
found that balance.
For sure. You talked about your pets. I'd like to know more about your pets.
Yeah.
What type of pets do you
I have 3 dogs.
have? Okay.
So they're all boys. I'm the only woman in my household out of all my pets and my fiance. So there's a lot of men in my house. But we have a German Shepherd Belgian Malinois mix.
Oh.
His name's Riley.
Wow.
I have my Chihuahua. His name's Enzo.
Mhm.
And then I have my Dingo, and his name's Theodore.
Yeah.
And then we have a snake. His name is
Wow.
Pancake. We have a bearded dragon. His name is
A
Waffles.
bearded dragon.
Yes. And we have a few fish and some snails. So we have a whole zoo in my house
Yeah.
right now. Yes. So it'll be fun transporting all of them up to Connecticut.
What inspired such a passion for animals.
Oh, I just have loved them. I mean, when
Yeah.
I met my fiance, I had my 2 dogs,
Mhm.
and he had his dog and his snake. And
Mhm.
then ever since we've moved in together, we got a lizard, and then we got some animals. I mean, I always grew up with animals.
Yeah.
I've had a whole slew of pets.
Mhm.
He's had a whole slew of pets.
Mhm.
I love and I adore them. My boys are from the animal shelter here in Las Vegas. I went and adopted them. I have one of my my dingo. He's my COVID baby. I got him during COVID. um, but I just I've always loved animals.
Yeah.
I've always loved taking care of animals, and that's where it kind of gets hard being a chef too,
Yeah.
because I'm very, very, very particular and sensitive
Mhm.
to like where I get my food brought in, my animals, how they're treated.
Yes. Yes.
Very, very big. I do not like
Mhm.
killing. I do not like doing it. But then again, it's weird once I receive meat in, and then
Yeah.
it's just meat, and
Yeah.
I can butcher it and be
Yeah.
fine with it. But that is another thing. Like, as a chef, I'm very particular with my ranches and my
Mhm.
farms and
Mhm.
everything, and I know
Yeah.
how they take care of their animals,
Yeah.
just ensure I want, I
Yeah.
want living
And
creatures to have a good life.
yeah, and I'm glad you said that because that is something that's critical to me as well. I don't want like a. This is something that me and my dad talked about yesterday as well. Yeah, I don't want like a animal that was scared.
Hmm.
Because it really affects the meat.
It does. It
Yeah,
does.
and that's not only the problem. Like, I don't really care about the meat. I mean, the meat is good, yeah, but also it's a life that you're taking, and
Yep.
um,
I
only for
100% agree.
yeah, only for a meal. So yeah, it's really really critical how you treat the animal because it's it's still a living being,
Hmm.
and it affects the meat. So
They gave their life to sustain
yeah,
us, and I
yeah.
love that partnership between, you know, proteins, animals, and humans who eat them.
Mhm.
It's a, cycle of life and everything like that. But yeah, I love to respect the life that was given, and if I do ever have to, kill anything in the restaurant as far as lobsters or
Yeah.
anything like that, I
Yeah.
will always say thank you so much.
Yeah.
And before I do it, it's just
Yeah.
something that I've learned over the years. But yeah, I'm a big, big advocate on animals and how they're treated.
Definitely same. You begin formal culinary training at just 13
Mm-hmm.
years old. Through Northwest Northwest.
Career and
Yeah,
Technical
career. Yes,
Academy.
yes,
Yep.
yes, yes.
CTA.
Yeah. um, their culinary program.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, earning multiple culinary credentials there.
Mm-hmm.
Before even graduating high school, you made a commitment to the kitchen early.
I
What
did.
what was the drive towards cooking? What was the passion, and like why do you like cooking so much?
It's a crazy story because I have always felt this calling to
Mhm.
cooking ever since I was little. I mean, kids would come home and watch cartoons. I turned on Food Network and I was watching Chopped and I was watching Guys Grocery Games and Triple D and Hell's Kitchen. And my
Yeah.
mother could never figure out why I just wanted to watch a chef scream at people all day. Like, that was my comfort zone. I
Yeah.
just would get so entranced by it, and I never knew what it was because, I love my mom and dad. They're
Yeah.
not good cooks. Um, very plain, like meat and potatoes, salt,
Yeah.
pepper kind of people.
Yeah.
I was the one, hey, mom, can you buy me an octopus? She'd be like, no, I'm not an octopus. And I was like, I don't know. It looks good. I'm going to try it. It wasn't, and I never understood it. I just knew that I was supposed to do this.
Mhm.
Um, it it almost felt like it was engraved in my bones.
Yeah.
It ran in my blood. And when I was 20 years old, I was having this discussion with my dad,
Mhm.
and then I was talking to my grandmother on my dad, so my dad's mom, and so mind you, 20 years old, I had already been doing this for about 7 years.
Yeah.
And she goes, "You don't know that you come from an extremely long line of chefs?" I was like, "What? No." She's like, your grandfather was a chef, your great grandfather was a chef, your great great grandfather was a chef.
Wow.
She's like, we've had restaurants in our families for generations. We've had your uncles, your great uncles, your aunts. And I was like, well, that's would have been nice to know a few years ago when I was trying to figure out why. So
Yeah.
then I like to say it literally is engraved in my
Yeah.
bones. Like I wasn't this black sheep of a family that
Yeah.
in my family that I thought I was.
Yeah.
I was just following kind of that path. But unfortunately, all those people by the time I was born had passed away, so I never got to talk to them. You know, we didn't really discuss this kind of stuff. Um, so I like to think that I'm continuing on this long generational legacy.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, a lot of those restaurants and stuff didn't make it, or
Yeah.
they had to close, or
Yeah.
what. And I would love to be that one in the family that can
Yeah.
kind of keep this name alive and keep it going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I, when I was younger, I wish I knew. People ask me all the time, and I was like, I don't know. I just really
Yeah.
like to cook.
Yeah. It sounded like it was like a sense of like creativity, like
Yeah.
octopus. Like that's a really exotic food to cook. I didn't I like octopus. I like octopus like fried tacos,
Oh yeah,
something
that's
like
some
that.
good stuff right there.
Yeah, but I had octopus for the first time for my mom's birthday, and it was the tentacles and it was seared, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it at all. Um, I didn't like it at all. So I swore like I would never ever have octopus again.
You know
But
what I say? You always got to try everything
yeah,
twice
yeah,
because maybe you just didn't have it the
yeah.
right way. Yep.
And I've always liked trying adventurous foods. Like I've had quail. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like quail. I've had swordfish. I've
Ooh, I love
had
swordfish.
yeah, me too.
It's good.
I've had what else have a lot of other stuff. I just can't remember it right now, but yeah, a lot of other stuff. So I've been adventurous. I really like cooking as well. Um, not as much as you. Octopus. I would never try to cook octopus. I don't know. I would
You
have
know,
to.
it's fun.
I could imagine it is. I would definitely try to. I like to cook something, but not octopus. That's just like out of my hands. I don't. I wouldn't know like where to start. But yeah, that's amazing. It just sounded like it was a sense of creativity. I like doing art, so
That was me too.
yeah,
I loved painting and
yeah,
drawing, and I drew cartoons when I was younger.
Oh wow,
And I play 5 instruments, so very artistical
yeah,
in my mind. So I always, you know, I think maybe 10 is when I picked up a guitar and started learning that.
oh,
That moved into piano and drums and bass, and then I got bored, so I bought a ukulele. But you know, I wanted to figure out something to be creative with and artistical, and then I that's culinary arts. It's in the
yeah,
name. It's an art
yeah,
form. You know, we
yeah,
are creating a work of art that you eat with your eyes
yeah,
first before you actually taste it. So, um, it's very fun because you know, a lot of people can cook. They're like, how do I make this look beautiful? And I'm like,
mhm.
there's the hard part. The hard part is making it look beautiful.
Plating.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, plating. And also putting different seasonings together.
Mm-hmm.
It's an art. It's a blend. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
you mix paints together. It's pretty much the same thing. Like mixing different
All of it.
seasonings, um, mixing different sides. You know, so it's pretty much you really have to kick into your creative, artistical
Oh yeah.
brain when you're cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So the next question I have for you today is: was there a defining moment in the competition that affirmed your composure and underscored your resilience?
Mm. I can think of two. So the first one was when I had to cook for my life. That one was a big shock for me.
Yeah,
Um, you know, being told you're in the bottom four, pretty gut wrenching.
yeah,
Not the best mind state to be in.
yeah.
Um, but I went into that cook, and I actually made a dish that was completely my mentor's. Um,
Pork chop?
no, it was
No.
the salmon.
Oh, salmon.
The salmon that
Okay.
was completely one of my mentor Patrick Munster.
Mhm.
Everything about that dish. I worked for him for over 5 years, so I knew his recipes like the
Yeah.
back of my hand.
Yeah.
Could do it blind. Um, and I told myself, you know, hey, if I make it out of this, I know my mentor is going to be proud of me. Um, so that kind of relit that fire of like, all right, I don't ever want to be in this position ever again.
Mm-hmm.
And then getting that first black jacket with that pork chop. So that one was a really, really hard challenge because it was, create something based off your state. And being from Nevada, it's not like we have seafood or
Yeah.
meat or produce coming from us.
Yeah.
We're not an export state. We're an
Yeah.
import state.
Yeah.
So I was pretty stuck creatively on that.
Yeah.
So the only route I had to go down was make it look like the desert, just make it look brown and
Yeah.
like sand
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
tans.
Mm.
And Chef Ramsay really liked that. He even said to me, it wasn't showed on the episode, but he even said you had the hardest challenge out of everyone here. You don't have anything that comes from your state. You don't have anything. So he was like, I'm just so impressed. And that was actually that morning was the day of my dad's wedding that I
Wow.
missed because I was competing. So it was a very, very hard day for me because I just said, if I go home tonight, oh, it's all for nothing. I just missed my dad's wedding. I'll never get this back. I'll never be, my whole family flew in that we never get to see each other because we're all around the country.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where I just had to, okay, it's time to hunker down and I need to keep going. I just need to keep going. And then that sense of pride of representing my state really kicked in.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I did my state proud by representing them with this one dish. Now I want to keep going and representing them as a state or as a chef,
Mm-hmm.
So those were like two really big defining moments for me.
Definitely. Yeah. What about the pork chop? What time in the show did you make the pork chop?
That was the black jacket.
Oh, black
Mm-hmm,
jacket. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Great, great. What were the ingredients? Like, why was it so good? I remember he liked it a lot.
Yeah, so I did, let's see if I can remember this correctly. I did a maple glazed pork chop with a charred cauliflower with drunken golden raisins, a romesco sauce, and then I did a spiced cashew crumble and some pickled asparagus.
Oh.
So the cashews look like sand, and then I did the red romesco to look like the red rocks here. And then I did the white and golden cauliflower with raisins to look, tans and browns.
Yeah.
Pork chop is brown.
Yeah.
And then I did some pickled asparagus to kind of look like cactus.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
peeking out because that's
Yeah.
what we have here.
Yeah.
And that was a dish that we could use anything we wanted. And I don't know. I started cooking and I think I went in autopilot mode and my hands just kind of knew what to do. My brain was like, what's going on? What's going on? And at the end of it, I looked at it and I was like, oh, this actually turned out pretty good. I surprised myself with that one. But yeah, that's a dish I was very, very, very proud of.
Definitely. Yeah. Do you think those artistical moments when you were younger? I know you said you have a passion for drawing and painting. Do you think your body kind of had the muscle memory for
for that? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think, like I said, a lot of time in that show, my brain was a big question mark, but my hands kept moving.
Yeah.
So I really do think subconsciously my body knew what to do, and my brain kind of caught up.
Yeah.
Maybe a minute or two later of like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's just there's really no time to think. You just do, and it's a lot of having trust in yourself to know that you know what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much. This is all the questions I have for you. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
You are an amazing interviewer.
Thank you.